Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela from the blog AngelaMarieMade.com. Today I'm going to show you how Brandon and I made our DIY dog bed. This project is part of my 10-day DIY challenge going on right now at AngelaMarieMade.com/DIY challenge. We made this dog bed to fit a large size dog cushion that I found on Etsy. I'll link it below. It's super cute and a really great quality. Start by gathering all of your materials. You can get a full cut list, material list, and tutorial for this project on my blog, which is linked below this video. But for lumber, you're going to need a 1x8 and a 1x4 for the frame of the dog bed. And then to trim it out, we're going to use pre-primed shiplap boards. All right, let's get started with this DIY dog bed. Step 1 is to make the initial lumber cuts for the dog bed frame from the 1x4 and 1x8. Again, you can get the full cut list on my blog. Step 2 is to assemble the frame of the DIY dog bed. Use a Kreg jig and drill 2 pocket holes on both sides of the 1x4 and the 2 1x8 sideboard pieces. Attach the 1x4 between the 2 shorter 1x8 front boards using wood glue and 1 1/4 inch Kreg screws to create the front of the frame. Then use Kreg screws and wood glue to attach the 2 side boards to the front frame and to the back 1x8 board. Make sure that the pocket holes are facing outwards because they will get covered by the shiplap boards. At first we used our Kreg clamp for this step, but then we found it easier to use our longer 48-inch clamps instead. Step 3 is to cut and attach the shiplap boards. From the 1x6 shiplap boards, use a miter saw and cut 4 boards at 3.5 inches long, and then cut 23 boards at 7 1/4 inches long. Note that on each board there will be a short overhang and a longer overhang. Also, the shiplap boards we used here are a 1/2 inch thick. To figure out how to attach our shiplap boards evenly, we initially laid the boards out and determined where we would need to make custom cuts. If your dog cushion is a different size than ours, this step is really important. We had to cut the longer shiplap overhang edge off on 2 of the boards, the board bordering the beginning of the 1x4 and the board on the corner of the right front of the frame. Be very careful with these edge cuts. I used my miter saw and a scrap board to hold the shiplap board in place while cutting the edge off. You could also use a jigsaw to do these custom cuts. Because we still need part of the shiplap edge on the board bordering the beginning of the 1x4, we cut the edge piece to 3.5 inches, which is the same height as the 1x4. We used wood glue to attach it back on the board edge. Begin on the front right corner of the frame and line up your first 7 1/4 inch shiplap board on the side so that the short overhang is extended past the front corner of the frame. Then place the custom cut shiplap board with no long edge next to it as shown here to form the front right corner. We attached the side corner board first. Attach both boards into place with wood glue and 1-inch brad nails. Install the next 7 1/4 inch shiplap board to the left of the first board on the front. Then install the 4 3 1/2 inch boards to the 1x4, continuing from right to left. After attaching the 4 3 1/2 inch boards, attach 2 full 7 1/4 inch boards on the left corner as shown here, so the corners look the same as the right corner. Now it's time to add the last front board. Slide the custom piece with the 3 1/2 inch edge overhang in place to the left of the 1x4. Then attach it with brad nails and wood glue. Next, install the remainder of the 7 1/4 inch boards along both sides. The last board on each side will need a custom cut. We marked with a pencil on the board where the custom cuts needed to be made. After the sides were finished, we finished off the back, again making a custom cut at the last corner where the back and side meet. Step 4 is to cut and install the bottom support boards. Measure the cuts needed for 3 bottom support boards and cut 3 1x4 boards to this size. Add 2 pocket holes to each side of the boards and install with 1 1/4 inch Craig screws. Now it's time to add the 1x2 trim. Cut 2 boards to the same length as the side 1x8 boards. Attach these boards on top of the side 1x8 boards with the back of the 1x2 lined up with the back of the 1x8 edge. Attach with wood glue and 1 1/4 inch brad nails. we measured the length needed for the back trim, cut a board to size, and installed the trim along the back. Finally, we trimmed out the front. We measured the cuts needed, starting with the inside boards, then the top trim for the two 1x8s, and then the inside 1x4 trim piece. Note, because our shiplap boards are a 1/2 inch thick, there will be a 1/4 inch overhang of the trim on the front. Now your DIY dog bed build is complete. Step 6 is to prep and paint. To get ready for paint, fill all the nail holes in with spackle. Prime the trim and inside of the dog bed. We didn't need to prime the shiplap since it was pre-primed. We decided not to caulk at first, but we went back after priming and caulked a few spots where it was needed. After priming, we used 2 coats of Simply White by Benjamin Moore in an eggshell finish. After the paint dried, we added our large-sized dog cushion to the DIY dog bed. I love how our DIY dog bed turned out, and our dog Chance loves it as well. He loves having his own cozy spot to take a nap. If you have any questions about this dog bed, please let me know in the comments below, or you can ask over in our Woodworking for the Home Facebook group, which you can find at angelamariemade.com/woodworkingforthehome. If you make this project, be sure to share it with us on social media at angelamariemade. You can get an extra entry in our DIY challenge giveaway for making this project. Enter the giveaway at angelamariemade.com/DIY challenge. Thank you again for stopping by, and please subscribe to my channel for more fun DIY videos.